Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. The show is all about public, private, and blockchain companies, how the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. The Real Brokerage is revolutionizing the residential real estate agency by pairing technology with the guidance of an agent-led experience. And with me is Michell Ressler, who is the CFO of the Real Brokerage, and also Tim Macy, an agent and the growth leader with the company as well. So Michell, let's start with you. So you're using this tech-enabled real estate brokerage. It's traded here at the NASDAQ, REAX, and you're currently in 46 states, 3 Canadian provinces as well. You've had quite a bit of growth lately. I mean, explain the platform and how it works exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we're really proud of the technology we've built. It's one of a kind in the industry and completely proprietary. If you look at the real estate industry, it's the largest asset class and yet has seen very little innovation. It's riddled with paper and manual processes. So Real's technology is a cloud-based platform. It's an operating system that enables our agents to do everything from transaction management and compliance to communicating with their broker, real-time deposits at the closing table, which allows us to also be the fastest paying brokerage in the industry, as well as build all of their marketing materials to brand their business, and 24/7 tech support, and a financial dashboard. We offer a lot. A financial dashboard that offers them key metrics into their business at all times. Through these tools, we enable our agents to focus on what really matters, which is building their business. We have an incredibly collaborative community. Our agents have less noise, less admin, and they're able to build relationships with one another, strengthen the relationships with their clients, which in turn makes them more successful. We empower our agents through our technology with leadership, success, and prosperity.
Now, Michell, I didn't realize, but you're the fastest growing real estate tech company, right, in the U.S.? So what do you attribute that success to, and how do you see things going forward?
Yeah, it's exciting to call yourself the fastest growing publicly traded brokerage in America. We've been around since 2014, but when we went public, our entire growth trajectory changed. So in 2022, we grew revenue by 212% to $381 million, and agent count by 118% in a contracting market. We attribute this to the power of our platform and the buzz that we're now generating in the agent community. It's not only because of our better economics, our state-of-the-art technology, our incredible culture, but it's also because we're a growing company that's demonstrating integrity. I think it's really simple. Like, we are inspiring confidence in our agents, and through that, they're creating ideal morals and standards to seamlessly transact and effortlessly interact with their clients. It's something that's very rare that other companies aren't doing, and it's just, again, creating a buzz. Agents want to be a part of something good. They want to be a part of a culture where they feel welcomed and they feel like they're making a contribution, and we think that's why they're joining us. It's very simple.
And it sounds like they're having some success as well.
And I think too, you mentioned growth. Like, growth is exciting. Like, just getting bigger and higher numbers is awesome. But what I get most inspired about is the quality of people we've grown with. Like, the quality of agents that are coming to join our company has been amazing.
So you're one of the top agents at a Real Brokerage, fastest growing publicly traded real estate brokerage firm, which we learned, which was amazing. Tell us about your business. What market do you cover? Where do you work, Tim?
Yeah, so I'm in San Antonio, and what's great about Real is that we kind of all work as one big company, and so we have agents all over the country and in Canada. And so it's been a ton of fun to build a network here at Real.
Yeah. How does it help to talk to other agents in other parts of the country? What do you learn?
Yeah, so what's fun is, like, Ed's in New Jersey, and I'm in San Antonio, and you'll find out like what Ed's doing in New Jersey to help build his business, and then I could take it and do things in San Antonio that maybe people in my market aren't doing. And so by collaborating with agents in these different parts of the country that agents are doing things that are unique in their markets that a lot of our people get to take and implement it in their own markets.
And interesting. So there's also like a sponsorship program, right?
Yeah.
If somebody is interested in joining. So, I mean, what would you say to somebody potentially was interested in becoming part of the Real Brokerage, Ed?
If you're looking for a family and a place to collaborate over compete, then this is definitely one of those areas to excel your business, scale the business, scale your life to that next level. I say that very confidently because that's exactly the scenario and the situation with my life. You know, switching over to this brokerage, seeing the growth in personal business, and so on and so forth. I've seen the evolution. So if someone's looking to collaborate over compete with others, that's the place.
Okay.
Well, it's funny because they say cloud-based, and you immediately think like less connection if you're not connected. But what you find is that you actually get more connection because there's more people, and you can find more people that are like you and find your tribe in a cloud-based environment instead of like a office-based environment.
Yeah, interesting. And then, of course, last year was a bad year for real estate. We saw mortgage rates about double.
Yeah.
How do you see the real estate, residential, even commercial, or do you deal with just residential?
So it's mostly residential, and I would say like the big thing both for brokerage and agents is efficiency.
Okay.
And so more and more like clients, consumers, they want less friction in the transaction. They want less friction in the search. They want less friction everywhere. I mean, we're used to hitting a button on Amazon and our package arrives, the next morning. And so we're looking for the same type of thing in real estate. And so I can tell you as agents in our business, we're trying to make it more efficient. And then being at a company that's also trying to make it more efficient definitely keeps things moving in the right direction.
What I've noticed is that over the past few years now, the rental market has been very hot, especially in New Jersey. So one thing that my team and I specialize in are apartment complexes. And we work with developers that build these brand new apartment complexes, and we're noticing the younger demographic renting over buying. Because it's easier, because it's simpler, it's done for you, it's efficient, as Tim is saying.
You have more flexibility in your life if you're renting.
Everything's done for you in a sense, right? So it's very appealing. It's a big trend right now, at least in the tri-state area from what I've noticed.
But I feel like that's got its own issues, right? We have more people renting and less people owning.
Big time. Lots of apartment complexes being built left and right, so new construction, but everything is on the rise, up and down, so, but.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Ed and Tim. Thanks.
Thank you.
Securities attorney Laura Anthony is the founding partner of Anthony LG PLLC and works in corporate and also securities and business transactions. And she's here with us today to give people some information about going public. This is a mystery, especially to a lot of young companies that have a dream of having an IPO someday. So besides an IPO, what are ways that companies can go public?
Well, good morning, Jane. But there are generally three ways to go public. A traditional IPO, initial public offering, a reverse merger, or a direct listing. Where an IPO always involves a capital raise, a reverse merger and a direct listing are just going public transactions. And so the capital raise must be bolted on separately. The well-known SPAC, Special Purpose Acquisition Company transaction, is really just a reverse merger, but the public company being merged into has cash, adding that capital raising aspect. However, in a SPAC transaction, there are usually a very large amount of redemptions by the initial IPO shareholders, and they may reduce the cash by as much as 90% or more. I've seen 99%. Usually, the private company in a SPAC transaction will negotiate with the SPAC so that there is a minimum amount of cash at the closing as a precondition to closing. And that cash can be derived from reduced redemptions or new capital transactions, such as usually it's a PIPE transaction. In a direct listing, the exchanges do allow for a concurrent capital raise by a company, though companies should keep in mind that the direct listings initial listing standards are about triple those for an IPO. And as such, a direct listing is really an option for a more mature company. On the other hand, a direct listing onto OTC markets is not only achievable by smaller companies, but is the more common way to go public than an underwritten public offering. The underwriter always requires affiliates and insiders to sign lockup agreements, and they may be for a minimum of 6 months, but often are as long as 12 months. And there are plenty of reasons for this, but mainly is they don't want insiders competing with the open market by adding selling pressure to a stock price so that, the stock has a chance to find its legs and perform. And importantly, when an insider sells stock, they have to file a form with the SEC so the public knows about it. And it's just a bad look if right after you go public, insiders are selling stock. Insiders are expected to be the strongest believers and the largest proponents for a company. They also have insider trading and inside information rules that they need to comply with. But on the positive side, where an IPO is not an immediate exit for an insider, it offers a longer term exit and the potential to build wealth, real wealth creation. It also provides for succession planning. With the use of stock compensation, new C-suite executives become invested in a company and its future and can eventually take over operations, allowing for better exits for the founders and initial management team.
Okay, Laura, thank you so much. Great information for any new company or somebody who's thinking about, exploring an IPO or some kind of public market. So thank you so much for all your information.
Thanks, Jane. Great to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
Research efforts to discover new antibiotics have stalled. New antibiotics were discovered and developed at a breathtaking pace. Enter REAX Pharmaceuticals. They are a biopharmaceutical company focused on developing new antibiotics for difficult-to-treat infections such as MRSA, VRE, and DRSP. We face new threats every day, big and small. REAX Pharma is on the front lines of health using technology to help us treat tomorrow's infections today. REAX Pharmaceuticals.
The Sustainable Green Team is a provider of environmentally conscious solutions in arbor care, disposal, and recycling industry. And with me is the Director of Administration of the Sustainable Green Team, Brian Rivera, and Brian Meier, the Chief Operating Officer. So great to have you both here. So Brian, tell me about the sustainability and how SGTM plays a role in that.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having us. And if I could just give a little bit of props to you and your team. We are just so many companies are really being blessed by what you guys are doing. So thank you for that. And sustainability is a word that we're beginning to hear even more and more in industries. Everybody is looking for sustainability. And sustainability actually is the action or the approach to be able to preserve the well-being of communities and environments. And I take that very to heart, if I can say. I have 2 kids that I love with all my heart. Everything I do, I try to really focus and concentrate on their future and what they're gonna do and the life that they're gonna live. And that's why I believe the Sustainable Green Team is so important, and what we're doing in our company has such a great value, because that is exactly what we're doing. We're taking what many people would look as waste, something unusable, something that's gone, and creating a sustainable, rich product that is going to be for the communities and the environment.
As Brian was talking about sustainability, our employees, we kind of look at it the same way. Those people that we work with every day, we find value in those people, and we want to make their lives sustainable. We have the same commitment to our employees as we do to the environment. And it takes a large skill set, and we have those guys available, and we are blessed to have them in our employment. and they make us who we are. I mean, our biggest asset, again, is those who work for us.
And Brian, how can somebody find out more about Sustainable Green Team? Where should they go?
They can go to our website.
Or just Google Sustainable Green Team, it'll pop up.
Or mulch manufacturing, mulchmfg.com.
If I can say something that I always encourage everybody to come, please check out our YouTube
page.
channel.
Yeah.
It's SGTM, the Sustainable Green Team, and right there you'll be able to meet more of the people like Brian was talking about, learn about our products, and really our heart and passion behind everything we do.
No, that's a good point, because I've actually been on there and it shows what you guys are actually doing. So with all the big equipment and everything. Yeah. So thank you so much, Brian and Brian, for joining me.
Thank you.
Lameness issues, joint pain, and osteoarthritis can be difficult to treat and debilitating for an animal's health and well-being. Take control of lameness issues and joint pain. Introducing Spring with OsteoCushion technology. With just one injection, Spring with OsteoCushion technology targets the root cause of lameness issues, joint pain, and osteoarthritis, helping animals do what they do best.
Glint Pay is a way to pay for things in gold. It works just like a debit card, except you're buying things with gold instead of with cash or dollars. And with me is the CEO and founder, Jason Cozens, to explain. Let's just start with, I mean, a lot of people maybe haven't heard of Glint Pay. Gold's had a good year so far. I mean, explain how it works.
Yeah, sure, Jane. So, in order to help people protect themselves against inflation, protect them against systemic risk, and protect them from the kind of bank runs we've seen over the last few weeks. We built Glint, which is the first platform in the world to enable gold as everyday money in electronic payments with the Glint app, with the Glint Mastercard. This is our Mastercard here. And also we also have a product for wealth managers as well now. But with the app, it's really simple. You can buy any amount of gold from $10 up to millions of dollars worth of gold. This is real allocated gold. This is not some kind of derivative or paper gold. This is real metal that's stored in a secure vault in Switzerland. It's insured by Lloyd's of London. It's real metal. And you can buy that gold. You can just save it if you want in your app and watch. Generally the purchasing power of gold, the price of gold goes up. It does go up and down, but generally up as the confidence in fiat currencies goes down. So you can buy it, you can save it, you can send that value to other people. If you're outside of the US, we're going to be bringing that to the US soon, and you can spend it. I mean, we're basically being able to put people on their own personal gold standard.
So, and let's just talk from a macroeconomic standpoint. I mean, this has been an interesting year for banks and inflation and gold. And Glint, I know, has benefited from that. I mean, how do you see just the macro world, and why is gold an important piece of a portfolio?
Well, of course, inflation is raging around the world, and it's anywhere between 5 and even 280% in some countries. This is a systemic problem that's been building, I think, ever since we came off the gold standard in 1971. And of course, it's reaching a crescendo. So we have this tsunami of inflation, which I don't think central banks are going to be able to control, because every time they try to do that by raising interest rates, they create recessionary pressures. And so they have to oscillate between fighting recession or fighting inflation. And my fear is that they won't be able to beat either of those problems. Of course, these aren't any black swan events for me. I've been talking about the dangers of this since I had the idea for Glint back in 2008. And with that inflation, we've also seen problems within the banking system rise. And actually, for those of you who remember the crisis back in 2008, you would have seen, for instance, people queuing up outside of banks when there were bank runs going on. Of course, back then, you'd have to get onto public transport and travel into the city and queue up outside the bank to withdraw your money. So bank runs were relatively slow compared to today. Bank runs today can happen at the speed of the internet. $85 billion or so, I think, was withdrawn from Silicon Valley Bank within one day. So billions of dollars can move out of banks now at the speed of an app. And so I think people are worried about where they hold their money. So yeah, lots of issues, of course, with the dollar not backed by gold and no longer being necessarily the currency used for people to buy oil, and with the war in Ukraine and the sanctions, then also there's an erosion of the US dollar's position as the reserve currency of the world. So we're seeing a real kind of a perfect storm, really, for fiat currencies. And we're seeing a massive resurgence in gold. The gold price has done phenomenally well. It's started to breach, get the $2,000 per ounce mark, and it's reaching these near all-time highs again. And so, yeah, it's a very positive time. But of course, for me, gold isn't just about the price. It's about the security that it brings, about the reliability. And as we say at Glint, gold is security. Glint, it's key, because we do bring it this unprecedented liquidity, this innovation. As really we work towards building a gold-based financial services ecosystem. This is not just about our retail banking app alternative. This is also about the wealth management portal. And we can imagine that with our platform and the API integrations that we can have, that actually this platform can grow globally and start to integrate in all kinds of different interesting businesses. So it's a very exciting time.
It is a very interesting business too. Jason, thank you so much for coming back, and I look forward to our next interview and updates.
Thank you.
Thank you.
SKUR, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. SKUR is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. SKUR doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download SKUR. Visit SKUR.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Welcome, everyone, to the weekly hack, the Secure Privacy and Security segment. I'm Anna Berry, along with Alain Ghiai, the CEO of Sekur. All right, Alain, summer is almost here, and that means a lot of travel is upon us. But there's a new warning by the FBI warning us to avoid using free public Wi-Fi charging stations. So I want to know, how can hackers get into these public charging stations, especially with our USB? Is that how they're getting in?
Yeah, so, you have now the traveling season first for business people. It just started. Then you had the holiday, and then obviously summer coming up. Travel is increasing. And, USB ports are meant to transfer data. They also charge your device. But when you think about it, you can also transfer data. You may have photos on a laptop and you want to transfer to a phone or vice versa. That's the kind of cable that you get. So they found a way to siphon your data when you plug in into, it could be anything. I think a year or two ago, we talked about airport seats that have these USB plug-in. I wouldn't be surprised somebody tampered with some seats. And who knows? These criminal organizations are big. So it could be as little as don't plug into the airport seat. The best thing to do is really to have your own real outlet charger if you can, and plug it into an outlet. I do realize that they're not very common, but more and more in airports they have these outlets as well. Yeah, that's a huge problem. People go on public phone and just charge for free. And that's the new thing, and they're siphoning your entire data.
Right. And there are portable charging devices out there that I often carry with me when I travel. It's a hard habit to change, but it's an important habit to change, especially when it comes to public Wi-Fi too. You warn a lot about that. Don't join public Wi-Fi. Quickly tell us why.
Yeah, public Wi-Fi, even the so-called secured ones, are not secure to a level that is a point that a hacker can't get in. You may have some very basic off-the-shelf encryption or a password that's super easy to understand. If you go to a coffee shop and you have staff that's, churning over all the time, and you're going to ask somebody, what's your password? They barely know it. So it has to be something easy. These passwords don't even change every day. So don't use a Wi-Fi, even with a password. And a great way to essentially encrypt your connection, you either use your regular 5G, so your mobile data thing, or use a VPN like the one we just launched. It does encrypt your internet connection.
That's a perfect segue into the launch of your VPN. Congratulations on that. I know that recently happened. So talk to us about it. And I know that there is a promo code for our eager listeners out there.
Yeah, so Sekur VPN follows the same concept as all our secure solutions. It's Swiss hosted only, our own machines. So that means we don't host in hyperscaler or big techs. We have our own infrastructure, and we also don't offer secondary services. A lot of these VPN have other solutions that they offer, you know, antivirus and whatnot. But what people don't understand is those are third parties, and the VPN provider essentially sells your information to the antivirus or ad blocker. We have none of that. It's super easy. You can go to sekurvpn.com, register, you sign up, and then you basically download on iOS or Android, or you can even go to sekur.com, and we have now a little button that says Sekur VPN. That'll take you to the VPN website. It's extremely easy to use. You sign up, you download the application, and you kind of push a plug thing, and that's it. Literally, you tap your screen, and all your connection goes through our multiple Swiss IP addresses. We don't log anything. We have no connection to any third party, no China connection, no big tech, nothing of that sort. And we don't even look at your traffic. We don't even register your device ID. So one account can get you 5 devices. It's normally $7 a month. You can use our usual code privacy for 15% off any of our plan for the next 5 years.
Wonderful. Privacy is the code for the new Sekur VPN. This is such valuable service that you're providing everyone. As we've talked about it for years now, it's only going to get worse. So privacy has arrived with Sekur, and I've learned so much in these conversations with you. So there you go.
And I'm using it right now. It's literally you tap on and tap off, and you're in.
Perfect. Wonderful. Well, great speaking with you as always, Alain.
Thanks, Anna. Thanks, everyone, for watching. See you next week.